Computer. All right, good morning. Welcome to the Go for Charles podcast. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Gwen Nowak, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about disabilities in the workplace. I may have Ty Washington joining us a little later. Currently, he's out of pocket, and he just recently suffered a stroke, and Gwen has dealt with. Well, Gwen, I'll let you give your background. How's that?
I was diagnosed at 9 months of age with cerebral palsy, spastic diplegia, which basically constitutes all four limbs are affected by the disability of CP. And when I say spastic, it means that my whole entire body is like in Charlie horses constantly, and they're tense. Your body's tense as a result of the CP. It also causes coordination issues, hand balance issues. I am wheelchair bound and have been all my life.
Yeah, and Gwen, with that comes, I know you've owned a couple houses, and you've had to rebound from some family issues and things of that nature. But can you describe to me about something a little bit about the cost associated with being disabled?
Well, each day, individuals with disabilities have to deal with many systems, as well as not only the medical system, but we deal with a lot of service providers to make it through our day. And so the cost, if you're talking about medical cost, in today's society in America, the cost of medical care for us is astronomical. I can't even buy anything off the shelf without having to try to use my insurance. It's ridiculous how high the medical cost is in America for people with disabilities, and we're forced to choose between our mobility aids or eating. You know, we're forced that. So it's either we're not able to get our things met. Either we have to do it through insurances, but even there's so much red tape in doing that. It takes a long time to, like, for example, if we need a chair, it takes us at least 6 months to get approved for a wheelchair. At least 6 months to get approved for a wheelchair. Sometimes sooner, but more than likely not. That's just one example of the bureaucracy and red tape that we deal with on a consistent basis. I've learned to deal with the systems. I've been an advocate not only for myself but others throughout the years in the realm of disability, as well as other types of advocacy. So I've gotten good at dealing with the systems and making phone calls every single day to make sure that my day and my voice is heard throughout the community.
Yeah, and this is good. And for my audience, I just hired, or Gwen volunteered, I guess, to be my caseworker for the disabled in the Charles Lovejoy Foundation, which was newly formed. And she's going to be handling the cases as they come in and advocating for others. So that's great. And I really appreciate your help, Gwen, with this.
Thank you.
We talked earlier a little bit about the cost, but what would be an ideal situation for somebody in your situation, and how much would that be if you had everything you needed to be able to navigate normally throughout the day?
how much would that, to
What
answer
would,
that, to answer that question is kind of complex
kind of complex?
because things come up daily, what we need. And so you're constantly fighting with systems to try to get what you need. So it's very complex. And as far as the cost goes, I can't give you an exact number, but I can tell you that if this one agency doesn't work, I have to go to this agency. I have to do this. I have to call this person to get what I need. It's taken me, and yes, I have had 2 houses. Yes, I'm pretty successful. I'm independent in the best of my ability, but it's taken a lot to get where I'm at. People oftentimes take for granted the simple things, that they do on a daily basis. Um, we speak of Ty, and Ty is not here, so I won't go into it too much. But the basic things of getting up in the morning, of being able to communicate properly, of being able to just function on a daily basis is very difficult. So you learn how to adapt to your situation the best you can, with the aids that you have at your disposal. And because I've been such an advocate for myself and others, I know how to get what I need the best to my ability. It's taken a lot of. I've been in a chair for 45 years, so that should give you some idea of how hard I've had to fight. I
Yeah,
work,
and just speak simply on how we met. Some guy came in and railroaded you for a exorbitant amount of money to put in a wheelchair ramp, and it wasn't even right.
It wasn't even up to code, and Charles was gracious enough to. We met. It was gracious enough to understand that piece, and I was able to get a ramp done with him, and we've been friends for quite some time now. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So in the creation of the Charles Lovejoy Foundation, what we're doing is we're attempting to help people with disabilities like Gwen, and Gwen is going to advocate for them. And I just kind of want to speak to that, your passion in that area.
Well,
how do you see yourself working in that capacity?
let me first explain. I've not only worked for myself for an advocate standpoint and advocated for myself, but I've also worked as a domestic violence advocate for 14 years, working a crisis line overnight, and dealing with people in high crisis. Also, so I believe I can use those skills plus my own life experience, as well as my case management skills, to effectively help the individuals that come to the foundation or agency. It takes patience, it takes time, and it takes getting to know somebody to really understand what they need in the immediate term.
Yeah, the reason I was bringing Ty on here is because he recently had a stroke in October, and he is actually entering into the state, or has been in the state since October, of finding the resources he needs. And he does not have an advocate either. And
go ahead.
And it's just one of the things that I want to bring to light, that advocacy point, having somebody who's in the know, knows who to look to and turn to.
And that's the problem. A lot of people don't know the resources, don't know the service providers that they need to reach out to, and don't know the systems and don't understand the systems. A lot of people are very overwhelmed by having to reach out, it's very anxiety ridden for a lot of people to have to deal with that on a daily basis, to have to call this person and not know what to say and not, so because I've done it for so long, I know how to deal with them, and I also know how to push them to the best of my ability. And I know it's worked for me, and I know it's worked for other clients. So.
And that's awesome. And I met a gentleman in my sales position that only lives 2 or 3 blocks away from you. I don't remember if you kept in contact with him or not.
I did call him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have never known, just in this little town, that there would be 2 people suffering from the same things. And he didn't have advocacy either. So it was
Right.
it's really interesting to now know that there's just 2 people that are blocks away from each other that neither of them have advocates. So that's what we're hoping we're going to solve with the Charles Lovejoy Foundation.
Right. And also understand that my advocacy is client-centered. It's not, I'm not here to do what I want to do. I'm here to meet where they want to be at, where they're at. You have to meet them where they're at. If you don't meet them where they're at, you're not effectively helping them meet their goals. If they don't feel happy with what they're doing or how they're succeeding, then you're not being a successful case manager, caseworker / caseworker.
Yeah, and you definitely have the abilities to assist people, and you have a passion to do that. So
Yeah,
I do appreciate that about you.
thanks.
Do you have any final comments on this subject? We may bounce back to it again.
Not right now, but I'd be willing to do this again.
Okay.
In order for educational purposes.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm thankful that you joined me. I appreciate your time. And for all the people out there who are watching, if you like this video, please select the like button, maybe subscribe to my channel. Thanks.
Thanks.